Hey Kings of Dragons, Dragon King 551 here, and today I'm going to do a rundown of all the first round picks, all 32 of them, and this is just going to be that. Look out for a video tomorrow. It'll be all about the Giants draft picks, who I liked, who I didn't like. This one's just going to be the actual picks, and also I'll talk about some other rivals in our division in this video, but also in the other video of why, what happened and how they keep screwing us over. So let's get into it. So with the first overall pick, obviously the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. Now this is an A-plus caliber player. I do believe that they will survive with him. I think they will win a Super Bowl down the line, but it takes time to build a team, so let's just give him time. Let him settle in for his first year. Do not build that hype. Oh, he's 34 and in the regular season, never lost a regular season game in his 2 seasons at Clemson. He's lost a national championship game. He's lost a playoff game. That's all that he's lost in. But he's still a very good player. So yeah. So let's move on to Zach Wilson. Now, I didn't watch a lot of this kid. I saw his arm and talent, and I believe that the Jets made the right pick with Zach Wilson. I don't agree with CBS at a B. I feel he is definitely a B plus or an A, just because the way he does stuff, and he actually is an incredible player. Now, number 3 is the 49ers. Now, Trey Lance, I really thought Mac Jones was going to go there. Again, I did a mock draft a couple weeks ago, or like a month or a week, month ago, basically. And so some of these picks are now new finagled and trades and everything that happened. So none of these picks are accurate from my mock draft. These are the actual picks. So obviously Trey Lance, I really thought it was going to be Mac Jones as the 3rd pick. I predicted Trevor, Zach, and Mac Jones at the time, the 49ers. But then I also predicted that Miami would take Devontae Smith. So we'll get into that as I go down the list. So obviously Trey Lance, they say he's a C minus. I say a B plus. Personally, I feel that even though Jimmy's G is there, they'll give him the Mahomes treatment and allow the actual starting quarterback that's still there let him develop for that 1 year. After that, if Jimmy G is not the guy and he didn't perform well for them, they didn't get into the playoffs, you start the young kid. Maybe he's the future, and he gets you the wins and he gets you back into the playoffs. Kyle Pitts for number 4 is obviously the Falcons. Now, they're in that win now phase. An A. I personally believe that they would have got Justin Fields as the quarterback. I give that a B grade. I really don't like this pick as much as I would have. I mean, Matt Ryan's not that great of a quarterback. Their defense is kind of crappy. It's not a very good defense, so I don't really like this pick. But then again, that's just me. So that's why I don't like it. Obviously, these 2 coming up picks are probably 2 of my favorite picks, and these are 2 of probably my good picks. Now, Jamar Chase, obviously, great pick. I mean, Joe Burrow played with him in LSU for that national championship game. Very, very good pick, and that's the player I like. Problem is that you didn't select Sewell out of Oregon, the outside line. I'm sorry, not the outside linebacker, the offensive lineman from Oregon, and you need players to protect him because obviously he did tore his ACL, which was really bad. And I mean, he did perform better I'll give him credit though. He performed better than Daniel Jones did and read the plays better in his first year with a crappy O-line than Daniel Jones did. That's just phenomenal. But I don't I mean, I don't mind this pick, but I don't give it the A caliber treatment. I give it like maybe B minus at most, because it's just not there. But I say it's still a pretty good draft pick. Anyway, another good one, Jalen Waddle. Again, this is where I thought maybe Miami would take Devontae Smith. I mean, I really thought they would take the Heisman Trophy winner, but they took the guy who has a hurt lower leg injury. I think he's back though. I think he'll develop. He'll probably start. He is B plus, but they do. This is what CBS has said about him. They believe that they think that he has the Tyreek type of ability, and they think he will help Tua a ton. So it basically works. Now, obviously, I don't like this B plus. I give it an A personally. I think it's a great pick. Miami was 10-6 last season. I mean, yes, they did get shell shocked in that game against Buffalo, but Buffalo's a good team. Sometimes they're just a good team. I mean, you can't do anything about that. I mean, there are times where you're just better than everyone else. So obviously, that's why I give Miami that A caliber. I do not give that B plus. Now moving on to Sewell from the Lions. Good pick, A, definitely an A, but a lot of Lion fans are probably always going to wonder, why didn't we do this when we had Jared Goff there? Why? I mean, that's also a thing where I've always questioned the Giants. I'm like, why are our GMs so bad? Why didn't we get offensive linemen when Eli Manning was there? And we could have potentially probably won another Super Bowl. We gave Eli Manning time, but apparently it just wasn't in the cards for us. And then when Daniel Jones gets drafted, we get offensive linemen all over the place, and he still sucks. So, I mean, take your pick. Anyway, I think that's a good pick. I feel that's great. Now we go down to two defensive backs. Chase Horn, I mean, I don't really like this. I feel that the Panthers... I like the Panthers pick. But I don't give them that B. I give them a B plus, just because I'm not liking it. I mean, that much, but it's still in the B range, which I give it, because I mean, they do have Sam Darnold. They want to improve their defense. Defense wins championships. They probably do need some defensive players. Now we go on to freaking Denver. Now this pick ticks me off a lot. It ticks me off a lot because you could have drafted Fields at this position. Now, a lot of people say, yes, I know Drew Lock is there, Teddy Bridgewater is there. Those two are going to have to duke it out for the starting job. So, yes, it's a good pick. I mean, for a defensive back, I feel like they have a lot. It's an okay pick for me. I give it a C+. I'm sorry, I don't give it that A vibe. I'm not liking that. Now, this one is the pick that a lot of Giants fans are going to be angry about, because the enemy of my enemy is basically my friend. Freaking Devontae Smith gets drafted to Philly, and they trade with the Dallas Eagles. So, I mean, also I think that's kind of like payback. The Eagles insisted, and that's payback for CD Lamb. But also another QB to help Jalen Hurts. Now, Jalen Hurts is obviously played at Alabama for 1 year, and I believe he played with Devontae Smith. So that's probably good, but it also ticks me off that it's personal. I'll talk about that later down the line in the Giants video where it's more. So let's move right along to Justin Fields. Obviously, Chicago. So this is where the Giants traded their pick. I mean, obviously, they could have freaking got Justin Fields and got rid of Mr. Jones and said, screw you, sayonara, get lost, bucko. Now, I mean, Justin Fields, A, I do give that an A. I do not disagree with that A rating. So I think he's a pretty good quarterback. Do I believe he'll start? We'll see. Andy Dalton's there. We'll see. Micah Parsons from Penn State. to Dallas. So obviously we got him there. I mean, Dallas does need defense. I do feel that their defense did get shredded in a couple of games last season. I mean, when they did play the Giants, they gave up, was it 34 points or something in one of their games against the Giants? I mean, they won that game 37-34, but overall that was just probably terrible giving up that many points. You want your defense to actually help win the game and only allow the team to score less than you, but to score the same amount and get you in that tie scenario where you have to drive down the field and kick a field goal. I mean, that's not ideal. So, again, good pick. Let's go to Rashawn Slater with the Chargers here. Now, I think B is a wrong rating. I think this is definitely an A rating just because, yes, Justin Herbert did pretty well and his O-line was pretty good last year, but by increasing it with this guy, I think they're going to do very dominant, and yes. Now, moving on to the Jets, we have this guy, Vera Tucker, Elijah Vera Tucker, I think is his name. Yeah, Elijah Vera Tucker from USC. Now, he's an offensive lineman, good for Zach Wilson, but I don't like the B-plus rating. A lot of players out of USC, I don't see them develop into the players that we know as, so I don't give him that vibe. And yeah, so I don't give that. Now, Mac Jones, it's perfect situation for him, and he definitely fits Josh McDaniels' offense. This is the Patriots pick. Now, a lot of people are like, oh no, we got another Tom Brady. What are we going to do? But he's just a rookie right now, so remember that. Tom Brady did not become the player we all know and love today. It took a couple of years until he actually won a Super Bowl. So, don't play that game with me. But I do think he's an A-plus caliber player because I do not like Cam Newton. He did not perform well. He doesn't read the field as well as he used to. Mac Jones can read the field all over the place. He sees every player. Cam Newton only saw one player, and I didn't like that. So he didn't do as well, and he always ran with the ball. So he's going to get injured. But that's him. Now, let's go on to Zaven Collins. Now, this is probably one of probably a very, very solid pick that I really enjoyed the Cardinals taking. Just because I do agree that it is a B-plus player. I believe this is a good pick for them. Just because you have freaking Isaiah Thomas, not Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. Sorry, Isaiah Thomas is a basketball player. Isaiah Simmons from Clemson, who plays linebacker and also safety. Now, I think you can actually put him in pure safety and actually get this guy to play linebacker, and now your team, I feel, is set. Now, I don't know if Budda Baker, I think his name is, Budda Baker on the Cardinals, left or not, so I'm not sure what they're going to do. We'll see what they do. Now, this one, Alex Leatherwood, offensive lineman from Bama. Now, I mean, this is pretty good. I mean, the Raiders have had good offensive linemen. I don't know who their quarterback is. As of right now, I don't remember. I think it's Derek Carr still, but it's a good pick. Just get it to them. Now, this is probably a very good one. Jaelan Phillips, edge Miami. Now, obviously, he is a very, very good player. I think he definitely deserves B+. They gave him a B. I think he's a good player. And he gets to stay in his home state and actually play for a home team, which is a hometown hero. But that's good. I mean, want to improve the defense. Now, I'm really surprised with the Washington football team. Because they take Jamin Davis, a linebacker out of Kentucky, I think. And now this is an A, which I have no problem with that. But you needed a quarterback. You don't have one right now, so I don't know what they're thinking. I'm not really sure what they're thinking, and yeah. Also, I think there were some weird quarterbacks that, like, Houston selected one in the later rounds, I think like third or second round. And then also, I think Tampa selected Kyle Trask in, like, I want to say the third round, but I don't remember. So those are weird picks, but I mean, you already have starting quarterbacks, unless Watson leaves and says, I'm out of here, and maybe he goes to Washington or the New York Giants or some other team that is willing to take him. But those are those guys, so let's move right along to the pick that a lot of Giants fans were stunned about. Personally, I was like, "Oh my God, who the hell is this guy?" Kadarius Toney. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. He's a good Florida player. Let's see. This is what CBS has said about him. He has the tools to really add a big play threat to the offense. Trading down and getting a playmaker and a first-round pick next year is a good move. So, yes, we will have I believe it's the 4th overall pick next year. So, if Daniel Jones does not pan out, cut him, bring in a young guy, let him do his job, and, yeah. Now, obviously, I'm going to give this a B+, not a B, just because... Now, I'm not going to play too much into what the media says or ESPN says, but they basically say that he's like how OBJ kind of has that fanatic where good route running. This guy has speed and good routing. He comes right out of the gate and he just breaks away and gets space. So that's the guy that the Giants got. So I think he's still a pretty good player. But here's the one I really wanted and the Colts took, Kwity Paye. Now, Kwity Paye is a very good defensive end. I mean, this is good if, like, Justin Houston doesn't want to come back next year. Very good player. B-, they say. I give that an A. I do not know why they give that to a B-, but that's just them. Now, Cable Farley out of Virginia Tech for Tennessee. Now, this is probably a very good pick for them, as they lost Adoree Jackson to the Giants in free agency. So I give this a B+. I mean, they say B-. I give it a B+, right there on the edge of grabbing that A, but just not there. Let's go to the Vikings. Now, this is Christian Desar, I think is how you pronounce it. So this is an A, and they say they love this pick because they believe he will be the best tackle in the draft. It fills a need in a big way. Yes, the Vikings do not have a good O-line at them right now, and this is a good pick to protect young, old leg Kirk Cousins there. Whatever. Now, this one is probably the one I do not like. Najee Harris. C. Pittsburgh. I do not like this pick. Now, I believe Miami had, I forget what pick Miami had. I believe they had a pick around here, and I thought they were going to get Jalen Waddle, Tua, and Najee Harris. I mean, that would have been an unstoppable force. But not the player. So, obviously, Najee Harris going to Pittsburgh. That's a C. I give that a D. I'm sorry. I just feel it's a bad pick. You have freaking no one to protect Ben Roethlisberger. You didn't really need a running back. They say they don't like picking backs in the first round. Good player, but backs should come later. And it's not that hard to draft a running back. It's probably one of the easiest players to find in the draft. The hardest are offensive lineman, quarterback, and I guess wide receiver is kind of hard too because you want an explosive guy that knows his stuff and knows how to run properly. So, bad pick on my part, bad pick on their part, bad pick on them. I don't think they should have drafted a runner, but whatever. Now this one confuses me because I feel it's a good pick. So Trevor Lawrence is going with one of his buddies, Travis Etienne, out of Clemson, good running back, C+. I give that a B+. I rank it up to by a letter grade. I give that a B+. So Again, he's my favorite back in the class. As a true air back, he will give them the speed they need in the backfield to help the pass game. But he's still a running back. So obviously, he's like, I want to say Christian McCaffrey and kind of Saquon. Those two guys can run the ball when they need to, but if you want to get that guy out in the flat and just like make him run his own wide receiver route, he's going to be spectacular. Because I've seen that happen with ETN. And let's not forget Trevor Lawrence has big legs and can do it. Now let's move on to Greg Newsome II out of Northwestern going to Cleveland. Now, this is a defensive back. I think he's a very good guy. Definitely a B. I have no problem with that. They've spent a lot of draft capital at corner in recent years. Newsome is good, solid player, but they have a bigger need. So that's why they don't feel that was a very good pick. But it happens. Now, this one, Rashad Bateman, height 6'2", weight 210. I know they needed help at receiver, but there are better options down the line. This is the Ravens. I completely do not agree with this. I do not agree with what the CBS is saying. I feel this was a very good pick for the Ravens. You need Lamar to actually pass the ball more, get Lamar Jackson to throw that ball more. And they're saying a C. I don't like C. I think that's B plus A maybe. So now let's go to here. Peyton Turner. So this guy's 6'6". I mean, he's pretty solid. So they say, I know they needed edge help, but there were better options. Again, yes, they could have drafted the Georgia guy, Izzy Ojulari. Obviously, I'll talk about him later because the Giants did get him. But I don't know. I think that's a C plus at most. I don't think that's that. Now this one is probably the one that a lot of Packer fans are like, no, what are you doing? Why did you get this guy? So Eric Stokes out of UGA, cornerback, B plus. Aaron Rodgers, so long. That is all I have to say about Green Bay because they are definitely going out of it. And that's just my opinion. I don't like that. So Eric Stokes, B plus. I mean, I think he's a good defensive back with I think Jared Alexander is still on the team, but I don't know. I give that probably right where it is. So let's get into the final three picks here. Obviously, we have Gregory Rousseau, edge Miami, B minus. The talent is there, but he didn't need. But he didn't play last year, and it hurt his stock. He's a big power player who fills a need. So yes, I think this is going to help Buffalo and make their team tougher. But we'll see, I mean, who actually takes the division and who takes the cake for the AFC East. Now, let's see. So we go back to Baltimore here. Jason Oof. Jason Oaf, edge, Penn State. So he's a B minus. I have nothing to say about him. I don't really know a lot about this kid. He's raw and has a ton of talent, but he didn't produce. He does fill a need though. So I mean, I think that's fine where he is. Now, this is obviously the defending champs, the Super Bowl champs. I mean, Kansas City didn't even have a pick, the runner-ups, which I was kind of surprised about. Guess the Ravens traded with them. Whatever. So, Joe Tryon, I think it's either, no, I'm sorry, Tryon, Joe Tryon. Edge, Washington, B. So, I mean, this is very interesting. With the entire team back, it makes sense to draft another edge player with Jason Pierre-Paul getting up in the years. So it's a very good pick. I say B+. I mean, you got to draft some future guys. I mean, there are older guys on the team like Jason, I'm trying to remember. Jason Pierre-Paul and, oh my God, what's his name? one of the middle linebackers out of Tampa, who's like 30 now. I can't remember his name. He plays with Devin White. You know what? Hang on. I'm gonna look up his name, guys, so I don't screw up for you guys. But I believe his name was Lavonte David. I'm sorry. Lavonte David is up there in age. I apologize, guys. I haven't seen him in a while, and I don't remember all the players. So, Lavonte David, that's also another player. So, it's a very good pick. So, yeah. So, those are all the picks for the first round. I know we got through a lot of them, and I didn't really get to talk to most of them, but those are all the picks. Tomorrow will be the Giants and how we screwed the Eagles out of a pick later down the line. So revenge is sweet. And yeah. So until next time, guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. And yeah. So guys, don't forget to stay radical. I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in the Giants field tomorrow. And yeah.